Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am Lotus, Lotus the Sage. Thank you for joining me. So today we have another pick a card, and it will be a pick a card or pick a crystal card. And we are looking in today, we are looking into today upcoming pivots in your life. When I did this for myself, two specific areas came up for me. Just a heads up. So we're just going to see how it ends up unfolding, but just so you know, more than one may pop up. So you're going to be picking one of these cards, and then we're going to roll the dice for an angel guidance for you to help you on this journey or in the direction of where this pivot is leading you. All right, for pile 1, we have Desert Rose. Pile 2, we have Rose Quartz. ℵiģe. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, but the letters are there for you. Okay, my beauties, take a second. See which crystal might be calling to you or image, and I'll see you at that choice. Welcome, my pal ones. We're going to spread out your cards first, and then we'll get into your messages. Okay, my beautiful collective of pile 1, let's see what your upcoming pivot or pivots are. So this first 4 cards, the first row, is going to let us know the area, the theme. Maybe they'll connect, maybe they won't. These are the emotions behind this particular theme, the color cards. So you have Fairy Godmother, beautiful. Revelation, Discovery, and Epiphany, number 32. Okay, I'm gonna let, I'm getting messages already, but I want to flip them over before I say anything. We have the Gilly or the Gylie. We have Reflect, Great Blue Heron. What does standing still reveal? And Hand of Fate. Forces beyond your control intervene. Interesting, pile 1. So, okay, so we're going to start off with the Fairy Godmother. When we're talking about upcoming pivots for you, it feels like, as they say, as your Fairy Godmother says, there's a revelation within, some sort of discovery, and I feel like it's coming from a reflection period, a time of being still. And the Gilly or the Gylie talks about small increments and successive attempts, and you can make your way forward in whatever service that you're seeking or whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish. It's talking about offering up your skills without hope of anything in return. Your true worth will finally become known. So again, about this discovery of this truly become known, that energy of the epiphany, you know, in some regard, and Hand of Fate, Spirit is coming in to help with this pivot. There's a reflection. This reflection is really key, I feel, for you, my lovelies. This card has a quote that I want to read. It says, insights reveal themselves in their own time and at their own pace. Great Blue Heron says, sometimes we must stop moving and let them find their way to us. And again, small increments. Again, there really does feel like there's a moment of you doing. There's a moment where you pause and you reflect, and then you realize something, which is that epiphany, and then everything sort of just gets put into your hands. I'm hearing laid on your lap, but put into your hands with this Hand of Fate. Let's see if we can get some idea of what this revelation of discovery is about when it comes to these emotions. Faith. I'm feeling like intuition in particular I'm feeling like a trusting of a deeper knowing that did not necessarily come to pass in your past. This is interesting. Anger, yeah. Underneath the gilly or gilly, small increments, doing things without anything in return. Show your skills. Your true value will soon be shown. I feel that this is where this anger is coming from, and a part of you doing the doing and doing and doing. So what I'm feeling here, my loves, is whatever, like I said, did not come to pass, did not work, whatever created this sort of rift or shift or break in something, there's an underlying feeling from my viewer that you've maintained this particular spark of faith, that it didn't fully extinguish. Because like I'm coming back to, there was a deeper knowing, like a deeper knowing. I love how the colors match with this purple here and this orange here. A deeper knowing of something that I think you just got. Yeah, it's not even just anger. It's like so frustrated and disappointed. It's almost making me feel like, did I miss my shot, or did I miss the opportunity for something great, or did I read it wrong? Was I shooting in the wrong direction or aiming in the wrong direction? It left you with a lot of doubt. And I think this is a reason or part of the reflection about what does standing still reveal. When you paused, when there was this break, when you shifted, when you chose not to respond or react in the way that you normally may have, per se, or perhaps. Then we have fear. Underneath, reflect. And this is bringing me to like waiting for things to come to you with this here. Again, fear that it wouldn't happen. There's something about that you really thought, I really am strongly feeling that something you thought was dead and done, there's a resurrection happening. And I'm getting like audio, like a pulsing in my right ear. I'm not sure if there's like a fear of communication, a fear of what needs to be spoken, a fear of what may be spoken. Possibly a fear of not getting what you desire. But I strongly, strongly feel, my loves, that this fear has to do with what you think didn't work out, or what legitimately didn't work out in the timing that you would have preferred. Interesting. And then we have illumination, yeah. Underneath the hand of fate, right? It's like this is all leading you to this aha moment. Again, this epiphany, that's the illumination. Excuse me. And this, again, anger, frustration, this is what this really feels like. This fear is about like, well, I want to get more on this, but I do feel like the tarot is going to answer that question for us. But I mean, there is really, especially in the reflect, are we afraid to reflect on? It doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like there's a scarcity mindset when it comes to something. I really just feel like it's a pause and a self-examination or reevaluation of something that had happened in the past, and checking to see, like, again, this energy of almost, did I do enough? Or was I reading it wrong? It's one of the two. And I feel Spirit saying you did not read anything wrong, and you did not go in a wrong direction. It's like we had to intervene for something, and we're gonna let's see. So we have 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, and 6 of Wands. Okay, for some it can have to do with work specifically and developing something creatively also. And it can be something that you've been working at for a fairly long time. You've probably failed to some degree in the past. It's the first energies I'm getting. The second energies can do with, again, the sense of a feeling of, I still feel a feeling of like, is it gonna happen? It's never gonna happen. It's one of those. So this patience, you're patiently waiting for something to transpire, to change, to have some sort of revelation about. This Nine of Wands, being through the battle, my card of finish what you start, you know, like almost at the end of it, still putting in the work, mastering whatever it is you need to do, even though you're going through all this chaos internally. But Spirit's saying it's leading to this victory, to this ceremony of sorts. What do you mean by ceremony? I'm hearing the ceremony and the union that is meant to happen only buds when it's the right time. And they're showing me yellow, white, orange, small flowers in a bundle or in a bushel. I guess this would be the right word. It's like they were putting the bouquet or putting the flower arrangement together. That's how they showed it to me, and it's like until it's ready, it cannot be delivered to you. That's how they presented it to me. Okay, wow. Let's see what else. The Knight of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles in the reverse. The King of Pentacles. A lot of Pentacle energy, a lot of earthy energy. And Six of Swords. Yeah, I really do feel like there's something about tangibly in your full 3D reality that did not work out for you. And you were either angered, bothered, disappointed, whatever the case was. But Spirit is, that's what it feels like is coming for you now. It's coming back in. That's what the pivot is. The pivot in your life now is you being on a firmer, solid foundation for yourself. Standing now more concretely in this knowing that you originally had when this began, but it wasn't there. That's all I can say. It wasn't as solid as it is currently now. And you're ready for, again, leaving this chaos, this troubled water, into something smoother, into something that is more compatible and fitting. Considering that it's like the only swords on the board is at the end there. It's like that clarity comes with that illumination. This planting, earthy energy, earthy, rooted action energy, fiery too, you know? Again, like pentacle, pentacle, pentacle. Pentacle, pentacle, like a lot. It's very like, it's coming now is what I'm getting at. It's like it's rooted now, it's earthed now, it is ready to blossom very soon. Like very soon. Interesting. So this is like why it's occurring though, my love, for you, is because you're ready now. It's like you've transmuted because of this reflective time, because you looked into whatever you were fearful of, whatever made you angry in the past. And why this pivot is happening for you is because you put in the work and you're getting rewarded for it. And especially with this Knight of Pentacles looking at the Six of Wands, it's like where you planting your seed now, it's on a better foundation. You know, it's not from this page's energy. It's not moving fast by any means. It's rooted and grounded in that King of Pentacles. Ready for this new adventure. This is cool. Really awesome. So my beautiful collective, when I was doing your, shuffling the deck for your cards, the bottom of the deck energy is the one I left here. Since I'm using the same deck for all three, I took the last card out and flipped it to the side so I knew which one was at the bottom of your deck. And you have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, like I said, the decision's been made, my love. Like, you know now. Like, you know. Not even that you didn't know before, you trust now. That's what the main thing is. You trust now. You're not doubting. Beautiful. Let's see what will or what has been aiding you in this pivot. We have the confusion over Seven of Pentacles. Sexual attraction over the Nine of Wands talent over 8 of Pentacles, and judgment over the 6 of Wands. You can see those okay, yeah? Cool. So I feel that what's aiding you in this particular shift right now is your dedication. Again, is coming, this sexual attraction is bringing me back to this faith, like your dedication to this deeper knowing, your dedication to your work, to your efforts, to your skills, to your talents. Again, your value will soon be seen. You know, this is what's coming up. Maybe the frustration of not, you know, your value not being valued, quite literally, you know. And this victory here with the 6 of Wands, it's like that judgment day of like your time is coming. The path is opening for you, for your talents to be seen, for this anger to dissipate. And again, this separation. But now they're bringing me to this diagonal line here in the card of anger. You know, it's like merging back or in a different way. They just said mending the pieces back that had become fractured in your thought and in your perspective of what you create, of how you create, of what your creations are worth, of your particular set of skills and gifts. I feel that had not been truly acknowledged for, I don't even know if really ever. Like, it has been, don't get me wrong, it has been, but not in the way that has given you sort of like a leg up. That's the best way I can describe this feeling. Interesting. So the help here is coming out of the confusion for judgment to be had in your favor. We have, oh my goodness, we have confusion over here and frustration over the Knight of Pentacles. Again, that's slow moving, but that reflection and pause is necessary. We have change, yep, over the Page of Pentacles. We have the troubleshooter over the King of Pentacles. Oh, look at that. And then we have surprise over 6 of Swords. That's awesome. So, again, the Knight of Pentacles, still feeling like it's a little bit slow, but still frustrated. But it's coming. Like, it's telling me the same thing. You're still frustrated, but the pivot's in the work, in other words. The change is already occurring. The troubleshooter, in my opinion, is Spirit right now coming in to sort of throw down that joker, that wild card, which is that surprise, towards that smoother sailing. You know, that's the energy that I'm feeling for you here. That's awesome. And underneath the deck, you have Woman of the World, again, which is mastery. My love. Mastery. So, again, this is like coming full circle to you will be seen. You are coming out of a particular box. It's almost like, it's not like that, but it's like, for lack of a better example, it's like somebody taking out a secret weapon that they didn't know that they had. Like, you're that secret weapon, but you've been like, I've been in this freaking place for so long. There's no secret. I've been waiting to be used, you know, in some way. It's a horrible example, but that's just the best way I can find, like, I can describe it. I feel like they had you locked away. That's what I feel like. You came out of a closet. You came out of a drawer. Like, it's like I'm seeing like an old-fashioned key, them opening it up and you stepping through, like, already shining. You like, no lights need to be turned on or something. Like, you don't have to rub your eyes. You're full beaming. Wow. Okay, let's get your guidance or the card you chose, which was Desert Rose. It says time travel, ancestral healing, and patience. We talked about patience. Desert Rose promotes mental clarity by releasing negative belief systems that no longer serve you. It has the special power of time travel and is able to heal past wounds that still affect you today and alleviate pain from this lifetime or past life. Use this stone to connect to your ancestors or your past self you need to reconcile with. This is exactly it, this anger here. Boom. And then you have Emerald. And it says spring, unity, and vitality. Emerald is known as a stone of successful love, stimulating loyalty, partnership, and friendship. Emerald opens the heart chakra, healing the auric field with unconditional love, hope, and joy, with exuberance and a lust for life. It's a sign of new beginnings and a fresh step in life, radiating health, prosperity, and vitality. Grow the direction of your dreams and nurture yourself along the way. You deserve the riches that life has to offer you. Absolutely. This is it. Again, I was feeling a very strong emphasis on romantic love. It definitely can be, but I was just trying to keep this as general as possible when it comes to what could be pivoting. There's a lot of material work energy here, but underlying everything, it feels like specific partnerships and unions. Like I said, a ceremony of some kind. So my lovely, Desert Rose might be significant. It's talking about patience, this ancestral healing, this time travel, and this emerald, this unity, this vitality, this unconditional love, successful unconditional love. Okay, beautiful. Let's roll the dice for your angel card to close off your messages. And we got 37. I'm doing what's closest to me. Angel 37 from this cool deck I got is, let's see what we got here. So, what angel you have is Aniel, number 37. Some dates that might be significant: September 24th to 28th, February 13th, April 27th, July 11th, December 5th. Noon might be really potent for you also. Okay, so Aniel is helping pivot this out of your life. Difficulty, refusal, or fear of change. Tendency to live in past memories. Materialistic philosophy. Excessive worldly mentality. Does not understand or ignores the laws of karma. The fact that we reap what we sow. Resistance to new currents. Attachment to former structures, to what is old. Subject to matter. Goes around in circles rehashing the same thoughts. Relentless struggle to maintain the status quo. Charlatan, perverted, and misleading mind and spirit. Fierce, unshakable traditionalists, all kind of addictions. Talks about what one does not know. This is what Aniel is healing and removing from your life, pivoting out, whether that's coming from you, the external, or however that is. What they're bringing in for you, my love. Breaking old patterns helps you understand the cycles of life and evolution, study of history and causes of consequences, understands the law of karma, the fact that we attract who we are and that we reap what we sow. Change of mentality, new ideas, develops an independent will, helps cleanse, purify negative memories related to sexuality, emotional dependency, and all kinds of addictions. Interesting that they reference that specifically too. Mastery when faced with intense intellectual and emotional impulses. Spiritual autonomy liberates us from negative forces and emotions. Bearer of new sciences and new conceptions of the universe, encourages novelty. Aniel, number 37 for you, my lovely. Which breaks down to a 1. So that's what's pivoting into your life. Again, the same thing of breaking this old pattern. They brought this up again. But there's, again, what's pivoting in is this anger release. All of the stuff that we talked about on that first side, that the human distortions. That's what's being released for you. Okay, my beautiful collective, I hope that was helpful. I am sending you so much love and hoping that you transition through this pivot as smoothly and as gracefully as possible. Keep watering your lives, my darlings. Until next time, ciao. Welcome, my pal 2. Okay, we're going to spread out your cards and then we will get into your messages. Woo. Okay, my beautiful pal 2, let's see what upcoming pivots are happening in your life. The Sigil Keeper. Symbols, signs, and messages. I'm going to flip them all over first before I start getting into the messages. The Queen. Remember, with the 13-line ground squirrel, what eternal knowing can I access in human form? And then you have Earth. Utilize logic, reason, and common sense. My collective of pile 2, what I'm really feeling off the bat first is a sign of a spiritual gift. That's the first and the strongest energy that I'm getting. And I feel that the spiritual gift is possibly one that you are using now, but it's at its infancy stage, or it's very premature. And I feel like Spirit is trying to send you specific symbols, signs, some auditory messages, but deliberately like symbols. And the Queen, she references hospitality, generosity, a safe haven, a mutual support, grace, a kindred spirit. And this squirrel is reminding you, my love, is how are you being called and stepping up to lead? How are you being called to level up? And it's time for you to explore what this means for you, what this signifies for you personally. And I feel that Earth energy is bringing in some, practicality of all of this ethereal energy. It's sort of like whatever you've been bestowed or opening up to or cultivating or expanding when it comes to your spiritual gifts. It's like they're asking you to root it in the earth, root it in this plane, in other words. It's almost like they're bringing it to me like drink your own elixir to remember. It's like a memory potion. There's something about that. And I don't know if it's in the sequence of how these symbols come to be to you, like in the order or how many times. But I feel like it's like a Morse code of signs. Like that's the way that they're showing it to me. This is interesting. Okay, let's see the emotions underneath the sigil keeper. Reflection. And this is, again, talking about this mirror, right? This bringing heavenly energies down to earthly energies. Reflecting on something that may have been forgotten when it comes to gifts, dormant, latent, underdeveloped, or premature. There's a very full emphasis on that. Happiness in the reverse. I heard you haven't been able to trust your intuition as of late because of an event that occurred in your past that had to deal primarily with you navigating through your intuition, which you did, but then turned out in your perspective to be misleading. So there's some sort of like support that you might have thought you were going to receive from an external source, didn't really receive you, in all fairness. And I feel that as they were saying that you had to navigate with intuition, it's like whatever that end result was made you doubt everything that was being developed, that was growing. And this is what they want you to pivot out of. Yep. So interestingly enough, the reason why I said yep is when it comes to like weird moments in my apartment, especially when it's been recently like cleaned, and I get a fly, which is right here. This fly is in here. I definitely take that as spirit. Flies are random bugs, so spirit just came in for you. I've been in my apartment most of the day, and I have not seen this fly. So just so you know, so spirit is doubling down on whatever we had just spoken about. Interesting. Okay, let's continue. Ideation in reverse, underneath remember. They just said, this is what you need to do, my love. It is for you to actually remember who you are, the power that is held within you, the previous lives and ancestral help that is guiding you, to step into your full magical abilities, is literally how they worded it. So I'm getting a heavy vibe of Wiccan witch energy, pagan energy, like very strong, or a hedge witch, herbals, druids, fairies, like very earthy. But that's the type of magic specifically that I'm feeling. And again, sigils, again, all of it, like all of it. There's so many energies here. And then, yeah, speaking of energy, energy over earth. Yeah, this is what it feels like. It's like you are learning. That's not it. They said you have figured out how to, or will be figuring out how to transmute your previous doubts into a strength within the remembering of your gift. And they said of your accuracy. They just specifically said that of your accuracy. You will see the full results of it. They're showing me this in the energy sign of you being in that center. And all of this chaos had to happen around you, but you being core again in that center. That energy, or that, again, the doubt will be revealed to you in some way, where you'll get clarity on you realizing that you actually were right. It just, they said, wasn't the right timing, but I don't feel like that's a, no offense, good enough answer. Give me a moment, let me tap in. Okay, some extra messages. They're saying, do not miss the small signs. And they're also talking about looking behind you. And it's not in a sense of stalkering, but it's almost like I'm getting a feeling of, did I just see that? Like that kind of look, you know, and it sort of has to make you do a double take. That's the feeling, or that's the visual they're showing me, but that's the feeling I'm getting. And they just said there will be many reflections back at you through us. We are moving through people around you for you to pay attention. Interesting. When it comes to the happiness and the queen, they're showing me something from you about, because I know we talked about this supportive, graceful, collaborative type of energy. And this happiness, it's almost like it really does. It feels like you gave of yourself some way, and I keep repeating this, it wasn't received. And that's what technically made you upset, and it made you doubt, like, wait a second, have I been going about this all wrong? Did I misinterpret something? I'm having another deja vu, pal, too. It's been happening a lot recently. And this epitome, or this acme of what brings you back into your core is from this remembering. It's from this squirrel, like, what eternal knowing can I access in my human form? Which is what we talked about, bringing it down into earth, this energy into earth. How can you access it? They're sending it to you through symbols, signs, messages. That's how. That's what's pivoting mainly for you, my lovely. It's a perspective on yourself and then the energies around. Beautiful. Let's see why this is occurring for you now. We have the Page of Swords in the reverse. The Empress. The World. And Ten of Wands. I just heard very strongly, you are no longer the student. You have mastered this energy already. Like I said, step into your magical power and begin this new cycle. It's going to feel like a lot. But they said once the memory, or the, how would they put it? They said once the cellular memory kicks in, this load won't feel so burdensome, won't feel so heavy. And they said it also won't feel so lonely. And they're also giving it to me like you are able to handle these gifts, like these particular magical, spiritual gifts. You're able to take, sorry, I get it now. Sorry for it. The Ten of Wands, they're telling to me, I think I said in the beginning, you're either developing or maybe underdeveloped. It's now, it's the parts of your spiritual gifts that might be new or underdeveloped. This is not including any spiritual gifts that you have been working on already is what I mean, like past already. This feels like you're being added on, or gifts are being added on to the gifts you already have. I'm getting an extra 3 more in particular, and that's why they're saying like you'll be able to handle all of this load because we are giving you more to remember. This is cool, pal, too. Because I'm using the same deck for each pile, when I finished laying out, or cards that came out for your pile, the back of the deck energy was this card, and so I took it out and I left it for you guys, just so you know. So then we have the Eight of Wands. The Sun in the reverse. Temperance in the reverse. And the Nine of Pentacles. Spirit's saying that this is going to come in quicker for you than you probably anticipate, hence this Ten of Wands here, where it's going to feel heavy at first, but eventually you will, what's the word? Acclimatize, assimilate, whatever the word is. It's so funny how I lose my words every time I'm channeling. It's freaking weird. So Eight of Wands, like I said, coming in quickly. There is this interesting way that you're going to filter how the information comes to you. It's almost like you're having a mini conversation with Spirit, being like, I can take the speed of this, but I need to filter it my way. I will take all of this, but I need to filter it my way. That's literally what it feels like. It's like, yes, I accept, but it has to come through very specifically for you to be able to handle the particular load that they are bestowing upon you. Therefore, that's why they're in agreement with how you're choosing to filter, because they're giving you so much. They're like, okay, no problem. So that's why I feel like the Sun and Temperance are in the reverse for you over here. It's like I can't go full force or full steam ahead, and because it won't be balanced. Like, it won't be balanced. And in this reversal of temperance, of sort of needing to recalibrate when it comes to your spiritual potency, quite literally, is why this temperance won't be in the upright yet. It's like you still have to, again, figure it out, not go gung-ho, readjust. Then you can flip this temperance in the upright, and then step into your single, sexy, confident, independent, powerful, self-sufficient, beautiful you. Magically gifted. That's really the name of your pile. Magically gifted, pile twos. I love this. Okay, let's see the back of your deck energy. You have the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, I just think that you don't think that you're quite ready for all of it. Hence this 10 of Wands, but Spirit has been reinforcing since the very beginning of the first card, you know, like you are ready for whatever this new pivot in your magical gifts is bringing in for you. And they also are telling me bringing up particular physical symptoms, because before, I did not mention this, before I started your group, I had this really weird stomach ache, and I had to make a cup of tea. See, I'm getting all gassy again now. Excuse me. And I had to sit down and like do a couple of breathing exercises before I could come into your reading. So I'm curious if there is something to do with the way that you're digesting information and also food, what your body might be, I can't say it's rejecting, but might be resisting or trying to warn you of, either when it comes to portions, dosages, or actual literal types of food. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get some more. Let's see what will help or aid or what will help or aid you in this pivot that's occurring right now. Or what did, for that matter. We'll see how it plays out. We have good fortune over the Page of Swords. Friend over Empress. I was going to say you might have a connection to pile 2, and I was thinking about that when what came out? Reflection. When that came out. Okay, so generosity over the world. And new beginnings over 10 of Wands. How beautiful. You can see all of that, yeah? Cool. So what I'm feeling here, my collective, is everything we talked about. Again, I am feeling twofold when it comes to this friend energy. Spirit being the friend, and whoever or whomever you might have shared something with, that part is connected in here somehow. So whatever you did was from the highest and greatest intention, and you tried to share that with your generosity for a particular new beginning, possibly in your life. That's one energy. Second, what's being here to aid or help you is this fortunate energy for a friend to come in, for you to see or to reciprocate back the generosity that you have given out, which in turn sets off this new beginning. 3, the shift in perspective is the key to you embracing your full power and abundant gifts. And as we talked about this premature or underdeveloped, this is where it's coming in. Like everything is sort of like lending to it, you know, it's what's being aided or what will aid you is a friend, possibly you staying open and generous, embracing this new beginning. It is a fortuitous new beginning. All right. Over 8 of Wands, we have confusion. Then we have Woman of the World over the Sun. We have frustration over Temperance. Ooh, okay. I suppose you. Fame over 9 of Pentacles, and challenge would not be it. You guys came out together. Okay, so, my lovelies, you have confusion over the Eight of Wands, and we talked about this like speed of things coming in for you. I don't necessarily feel like it's much of a confusion, so like, oh my god, how am I going to handle all of this newness? That's what I feel like. Learning to master this particular skill, we've already talked about this. So they're giving you the ability, they said the space, excuse me, the space for you to navigate or figure out how to filter, as we said. There's space. So try not to get frustrated when things feel completely out of balance. That's what they're just reminding you of. And you have fame over Nine of Pentacles with challenge. Naturally, it does feel like this particular set of gifts is going to level you up. How are you being called to level up specifically and personally in your life, in whatever circumstance? And this is what it is. And naturally, fame does bring challenges. It's not all sweet, and I don't know why everybody wants to be famous. I think it's really hilarious. But this is that kind of energy. It's and it doesn't have to be famous in like an A-list celebrity type of way, but well known in your field, somebody that people want to really go to. I feel also that it might take you a little bit longer to integrate than it should, to be fair. There's no should, but then it should, based on the strength of your power, is why I say should. I just feel like it's just going to take you a little bit more time to really readjust and believe that you are this magical being, like in its fullest, like truthfully. You know? Oh, and then you have heartbreak underneath the deck. That's what I mean. Like there's something about you not fully trusting the power just yet, or let's see what's underneath this. Yeah, wealth. Like it's a trust. It's a trust thing. Yeah, it's a trust. So I wouldn't think too deeply about this past disappointment. In other words, that might still be lingering, and why some of the no, that's not the frustration they just said. No, it's just why some of the stuff might be lingering. So just allow yourself to navigate through this. Figure it out in a calm, peaceful way. Spirit is giving you space to be able to master these particular gifts. Try not to get yourself frustrated when it feels chaotic and out of balance. And embrace the shift as it comes. Embrace this particular challenge because you are equipped to handle it. Beautiful. Let's get your card that you chose. Rose Quartz. It says love, nurture, and romance. Calling in unconditional love, Rose Quartz invokes a gentle yet powerful feminine energy that nurtures and protects your heart. It can be used to attract new romance and to build closer bonds in your relationships. It opens a heart chakra and heals headache, grief, and any unexpressed emotions. It asks that you show yourself compassion, forgiveness, and acceptance. It also inspires beauty in all forms. Open your heart to the beauty within you. The beauty within you. And then you have Amber, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Warmth, generation, and grounding. This is this ancestral grounding energy that we've been talking about in the beginning. Exuding warmth and electrical charge, Amber was believed by the Chinese to encapsulate the soul of a tiger when it dies. With a rich history, amber was used as a protective talisman dating back to ancient times. Technically comprised of 3 resins that has been fossilized. Amber is used for grounding higher energies back to earth. Literally what you need right now. When rubbed, it can become electrically charged, dispelling negativity and igniting desire. Amber is used as a purifier, cleansing the environment and chakras alike. Use amber to electrify your life. Leo, Aquarius, Sun. This is Taurus, Libra, Venus. That's lovely, my loves. So amber and rose quartz might be useful for you in the coming days. Okay, to close off your messages, my beautiful, to figuring out what's pivoting. We're gonna roll the dice, get you an angel to help you or to aid in this particular pivot of your journey of the pivot. I'm gonna do 54. Okay, let's see what we got here. So we are going to read the human distortions first, letting you know what ℓιղε is going to be removing from your life with this pivot, and then see what they're bringing in for you with this pivot. Fear of growing old. This is what they're removing, yeah? Fear of growing old, seduction to achieve one's goals, need for luxury, focused on external beauty and appearances, feelings of inferiority or superiority, lust, ambition, blind admiration, idolatry, wants to please everyone, emotional dependency and prostitution. Sorry, we got cut off. Possessivity, illegitimacy, reversal, permanent conspiracy, attitude that does not correspond to one's words, illness, accident, ruin, unstable situation, takes for granted, bulimia, anorexia, dates that might be significant, December 17th to the 21st, March 2nd, May 14th, July 29th, October 11th, December 22nd. Your time might be, a significant hour for you might be 5:40 to around 6 p.m. What is ℓιղε bringing in for you for this pivot, my beautiful paltus? Eternal youth, get it. Beauty, grace, we talked about this, refinement, synchronicity, stability, all of this. Hospitality, warm, welcome, artistic and aesthetic talents, celebrity, prestige, fame, good fortune, childlike candor, freshness, healing, legitimate succession, inheritance. My friend, ℓιղε is clearing the way of those human distortions for you, my love, to bring in these energies for you as it pivots. I love that. ℓιղε, thank you. My guides, thank you. My viewers, I love you. Sending you so much love. Until next time, keep watering your lives. Ciao. Welcome, my pal threes. Okay, my loves, we're going to spread out your cards and get started. All right, my beautiful collective of pile 3. Let's see what is pivoting or what upcoming pivots are coming into your life. Nice. We have the green man. Initiative, fertilization, and action. I'm going to flip them all over before we get into your messages. Lord of Light. Liberate, prairie smoke, what reminds me I'm free. And the satire, revelry and indulgence. My collective of pile 3, what I'm getting first is what's pivoting in your life, or one of the pivots anyway, is a release or a letting go of, a release or a letting go, an unlocking of, or from, I should say, a situation that kept you stuck. It's like there's an opening now, in other words. It's gonna take some skillful vision, you know? Which resources can you use most skillfully? How do you honorably serve through your work? What gifts do others receive from your creativity? What medicinal elements do you crave? What feeds your well-being? How can you serve for the common good? Where do you need to get out of your way? Where can you impart the gift of skillful vision? Whatever the difficulty, let your light shine upon these issues. Again, this initiative and fertilization and action into this Lord of Light, it's like you have to shine the light on where you can be free, you know, where you feel limited, repressed. I'm getting a sense of codependency, overindulgence, and possibly for some addictions. I feel like there's a pivot in that desire or need or want for that particular crutch or vice. I just heard the extremes are being tempered. It's almost like you have to sort of like hijack your mind or your emotions for you to really, I guess, see the opening, but I feel like you've kind of already done that. Or it's already been done, I should say, even if you weren't the one to do it. And I think this is where this green man's coming in, where this pivot is happening. This possibility for action. This is interesting, Pile 3. Cliche phrasing, but they said freedom from the shackles that bind, and those shackles have to do with habitual things. Whether that be habitual negative thoughts, whether that be smoking, coffee, booze, drugs, sex. They also said withholding information. All of that's being unlocked right now, or being asked to be liberated from in some way. Cool, Pile 3. Let's see what your emotions are behind this. Conscientiousness, yeah. Consciousness. Consciousness. I'm like conscientiousness. Consciousness. Maybe both. Death in the reverse. Underneath the Lord of Light, yeah. So again, like I was talking about, there is an opening. There is something that has come to your personal awareness of possibly how to get out of it, to be honest. That might be why the Lord of Light is really emphasized here, about you being the one to shine the light on, or lighten with a skillful vision, you know, for you to figure out how to move forward with that vision. So a death to the old version of you is what I'm feeling, but not a death to your light. Not a death to your power of moving out of this to liberate yourself from. Not allowing yourself, quote unquote, also, sorry for the graphics, to die from this particular belief, habit, whatever the case is. You're making a conscious choice not to choose this way to go. I hope that makes sense and it's not too morbid, but that's you know, that's the feeling. Then you have determination in the reverse. Underneath liberate. Well, that's pretty fitting, right? Especially if we're talking about addictions or things that bind, you know? This determination to liberate yourself, like I said, you have to put in that light, that work to do it. But the opportunity or the opening is here for you to shift, to pivot this particular way of being about you. So again, what reminds me that I am free, that I have free choice, that I have free will, that I do not have to stay stuck in whatever may be keeping me stuck, that I can show my own fortitude by stepping out of my own pattern. Interesting. Sorry about that. Just dropped my crystal. And no wonder it's fitting that two emotions came out for the Satar. I'm not surprised. So we have hunger, which is interesting when we talk about indulgence, and then surrender. Wow. I really do feel like it has a heavy emphasis on addiction of some kind. It doesn't matter what kind of addiction to anything that this pertains to in your life, but it's asking you to surrender that hunger to spirit, to the light, to the green man. What reminds you that you are free? Surrender to that belief and free yourself from the perspective that you need whatever has been habitually keeping you wherever you are. Separate the need from the want. Ooh, Pile 3. I'm also hearing there is a liberation from injustices from your past. And they said people who tried to muffle your voice. Like they're showing it to me as in like, I guess one of the deities, if I'm not mistaken, Pan, the Satar. And his overly frivolous sexual appetite with the nymphs and all of that. That's the energy I'm getting from this particular satar, excuse me. And I think that this is what they're referencing to you, my love, when it comes to that addiction, that overindulgence, you know, in whatever pleasure-seeking thing or mind-numbing thing or escapist tendency you might have. Surrender that hunger. And that's going to be difficult. But you definitely have that power and willpower to be able to, I think, get through it this time. Interesting. Let's see what else we got. Let's see why this is pivoting for you now. Two of Wands. The Lovers. The Fool. When I showed you the Lovers, 1, 2, 3, 4 comes up for me a lot. And for me, that meaning is everything is in order and it's playing out in succession. So it feels like because of a certain amount of things happening, it's sort of like the right timing for it now. It's in its place to occur now. Side note. And then 4 of Wands. Whoa. Maybe. Okay, so side note, why this is happening for some of you, not for all. You might have met somebody that is inspiring you more so than making you. I don't think they're making you, but your want for them is making you want to change. That is for some of you. It's like there's a new path that has begun. When it comes to union, it feels with another, but embarking on something new for you, my viewer, that brings you into a better, stable, harmonious connection with self and with other. That's very strong energy for some of you, that it's because of another person that is inspiring you to be better. And I love freaking that. Freaking high five to whoever that is, whoever that person is in your life. The second thing that I'm getting here is why this is happening for you is you understand that a plan needs to shift, that there hasn't been enough love given back to yourself, so you're ready to restart. In other words, it's like a reboot. You're ready to go. And I think this Fool is like a beautiful, for me, depiction of surrender. That dog being like, I got you. You can jump if you want. You know, like that's how I see this card. I got that rope if you feel that you're gonna, you know, lose yourself. But this one doesn't feel worried that they're gonna fall and not be hurt. The dog actually feels a little bit more worried or concerned or looking out for you, which is Spirit. But Spirit's like, I got you by the rope. Like just leap, take a jump, leap, because I got you. And you will land on solid footing. And the third, you're just ready now. It just might literally be a matter of time. It's just like, it's time. It's time. Beautiful. Okay, we have the 4 of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles. Oh man, addictions are very hard, and I know that some of you guys are going to go back and hold on to it, and that deep emotion or that tug of war that's going to happen between your mind and your heart, your body and your mind, it's going to be a struggle. But you have this, like you have it, you got it, is what I'm saying. Yeah, you got it, that King of Wands. You got it. Hold on to that staff and anchor you. Don't let the emotions get the best of you. Or I just heard the peaks from some of the withdrawals to make you overly erratic. Find coping mechanisms now as opposed to finding them as you're going through this process of releasing. And then the Hermit in the reverse. Beautiful. I really like this progression for you, my pal 3. Like, I know obviously way easier said than done, especially if this has to do with a particular drug addiction or a substance addiction, you know? But what I'm feeling here is like moments of latching on, which is every addict's issue, right? It doesn't, like, you have a less of a need for it. For some people that craving never really goes away, but the mind is strong enough to know that I'm not going to ruin my life regardless of how strong that want for that thing is. And this is what I think you toggle with when it comes to the emotions. But eventually you ground that energy forcefully. I feel like, oh, they said you own the energy now. It's not even grounding it. You own it now. And there is a wisdom that you gain from this particular process of withdrawing from a pattern that used to be so comfortable for you. Wow, pile 3. So, as I was saying, for every pile, we use the same deck. And when I finished getting your cards for your pile, at the bottom of your deck energy was this card, so I kept it. And so this is what it is. The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. I don't feel like it should be in the reverse for some reason. Spirit's like, no. This feels right. Like, it feels like this is where you end up, is like solid again. You know, because you have this emotions, you have the actions to do it. Now you're practically rooting this in here. You know? It really does feel that way. Oh, this is awesome, pile 3. I really like this progression. Again, like I said, I know this is difficult, but I do legitimately feel like you're ready now. Like, your brain is ready, is what I'm getting at. It's not just a matter of your soul being like, you should do this because you know it's good for you, you know, or like somebody saying that you're like, no, now I'm like, I'm ready. Okay, let's see what will aid or has aided in this shift for you. So we have greed over 2 of Wands. We have brown-haired woman over the Lovers. We have bad news over the Fool. And then faith over 4 of Wands. Ooh, pile 3. This is interesting. You know what's interesting for you, my pile 3? What I feel they're talking about is like what led you to this point. This was like the why, and this feels like what led you here to the why. And it feels that without softening it, it feels like greed had something to do with it. Either greed for wanting your cake and eating it too, meaning possibly masking your addiction when you met this particular person that I brought up. It can also be it feels like greedy when it comes to what you can have. It's almost like you wanted something that you didn't earn. Wow. Those are some heavy words there. What do you mean? It's the cake and eat it too. It's almost like Spirit presented you. Okay, if we're going to use the example of somebody coming in for you, Spirit presented you with the opportunity to be like, you can have this type of energy if you allow yourself to clean up these particular habits of yours. You were given a glimpse of that, then it fell through because of your habits, period. It fell through. And you were really, I feel like, somewhat excited for this sort of a new opportunity for a new trajectory, but you didn't do the work. Therefore, you didn't earn it. That's what they mean. So now, like I said, what's led you here is like, now that you realize this particular set of how deep it is or how serious it is, you now have a particular new faith that's been... This is a candle for me that either looks sometimes like it's lit and sometimes looks like it's being blown out. And this right now feels like it's about to be lit. This faith. It's like your faith has already been sparked to a degree, but this really lit it up. You tried to be too greedy. I really do feel that way, my love. In some respect, whether that be with this addiction, be with your time and how it overtook certain parts of your life or altered dynamics in relationships. This is what this really feels like. This is interesting. Okay. But I said, how will this aid you? Well, I think it's the realization of, that's what the real help is here. It's like you can't be too greedy when it comes to matters of the heart, and you have to be honest and transparent. You cannot step into it with lies or with masks. Interesting. What else we got? Over the Four of Pentacles, sexual attraction. I really do feel like it has to do with somebody. Good fortune over the King of Cups. Oh my gosh. Too fast. Too much. Sorry, guys. Growth over King of Wands. Get it. Oh, interesting. And mistake over the Hermit in reverse. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to start at the back here first. The mistake, what they told me here is when you come out of this sort of like victorious from all of the shit that you go through, whatever that detox period is for you and whatever way that looks like, it will be a mistake to stay hidden and to go back to old ways naturally. That's the one energy. Second is, do not announce your sobriety or your clarity to anybody, is what I'm getting in the beginning. It's like you have to reintegrate yourself back into everyday society after that happens for you not to relapse in some guise, is how they're showing it to me. So don't come out of this healing or detox phase and start preaching like da-da-da-da-da, because it's going to be a recipe for you to fall back. That's how they worded it. Okay. So over the Four of Pentacles, you have sexual attraction, and this is what we're talking about, that addiction to this something, whatever this is. And also, whomever or whatever this person, I feel like a person, whoever this person is, you want to hold on to that too. It's very important. It's almost, I feel now it is becoming more important than this vice. Then King of Cups, this good fortune, it's like, you need to release this. You need to express all of this and let this go for there to be growth, for you to ground this in, for you to receive what you want. So do not make the mistake of not doing the work this time, of not reflecting, not going in, not hermiting. And then when you come out of it, do not start bragging. In other words, it could be you, but it doesn't feel like it. You might just be so proud of yourself that that's how it comes up. But I think that's sort of like how they're warning or wording it for you. Amazing. And then at the back of the deck, you have barrier, which is fair. You have some obstacles to overcome, some jealousy and hidden enemy. Yeah, it's heavy energies for you, my love. Like the hidden enemy is the thing. You're the hidden enemy. It's whatever this vice is for you is that enemy. It's not really hidden, but that's sort of the barrier that you need to break out of. It's an old version for you to get what you really want. For real. Like, oh man, this is so hard. Like it's beautiful. It's here for you, but that process to get there is freaking tough. But point being, Spirit says you can do it. Don't matter. Wow. Okay. Let's see your crystal, which you chose was lepidocrocite. Cool. It says open heart, grounded, and teacher. Practical and methodical. Lepidocrocite approaches spirituality in a tangible way. Grounding practices back to earth while staying connected to source energy. A great crystal for teachers or anyone who wishes to pass down spiritual teachings. Lepidocrocite values tradition and educates without judgment, sharing wisdom of humanity's highest good. It helps with committing to your life's purpose, staying focused on the tasks at hand, and taking action in order to make progress. Each day, you are one step closer to your dreams. That's it, my lovely. Each day, if you keep doing this, you'll get one step closer to ultimately what you're looking for. And then you have beautiful tiger's eye. Courage, optimism, and power. A courageous and brave stone. It motivates you to show up as your best self, dispelling any fear and doubt in your path. Known as the shapeshifter, Tiger's Eye embodies healing energies from both the earth and the sun, drawing optimism towards you while grounding you in reality. Call on the warrior inside of you and pursue your ambitions with laser focus, with confidence, strength, and power. It'll help you break through any blockages that stand in your way. Activate the warrior inside of you. That's what you have to do, my lovely. Activate that beautiful warrior inside of you. Oh, wow, pile 3. Let's see which angel is with you on this particular journey in your pivot, or your pivot in your journey. Wow. Same numbers, but as pile 2. So pile 2, you might have a connection. Every pile had a connection to the other. 1 had a connection to 2, 2 had a connection to 1, you have a connection to 2. 51. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, we're going to read the human distortions first, and we have ℓιғε, 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 ℓιဋe. Number 51. The distortions. What is ℓιဋe releasing for you during this pivot? Medicine that treats only physical symptoms and pain without searching for or understanding the real cause of illnesses. Excuse me. I just had a download. You definitely have a connection to pile 2 for sure, specifically when it comes to the angel of what it's helping to release. Okay, sorry, let me start again. Medicine, human distortions, what they're releasing. Medicine that treats only physical symptoms and pains without searching for or understanding the real causes of illness, or charlatans, fake therapists that take advantage of people's naivety and ignorance. Woo. Flattery, swindler, imposter, manipulator, abusing other people's good faith. Lack of spiritual knowledge and consciousness in the medical profession, uses medicine solely for material gain, seeking power, ambition, victim of fraud. Interesting. So I'm feeling, before I finish here, sorry, it says illusion, science without conscience. So what I'm feeling here when it comes to this, like, medicine, and I remember saying to you, like, it'll work this time. And I was like, why am I saying this time? I don't know if this is a first or a 12th time for you, but it does feel like you have tried this before, meaning like for some that you might have gone to rehab or going to a particular facility to get help, but it felt like the medical professionals did not have your best interest at heart, and it wasn't really looking after you or really understand the type of addiction that you had, etc., etc. There's something about that's being removed. Also, when it comes to perceptions of self too, of not understanding the real cause of the illness, fake therapists, you know, ignorance. Amazing. Dates that might be significant for you are December 3rd to December 7th, February 27th, May 11th, July 25th and 26th, October 8th, December 19th, a significant hour for you is around 4:40 to 5 p.m. Interesting. What is ℓιဋe bringing in for you? Universal medicine related to all medical professions. Doctors, nurses, therapists, neurobiology, neurotechnology, etc. Capacity for global, multidimensional understanding enables us to detect and identify the cause of illnesses. Frickin' A. Great healer, bearer of universal remedies, leads to true healing which touches all levels. Infinite goodness, unconditional service. Bestows the Philosopher's Stone, patron of high science, grants access to the truth which enables us to understand the dynamics of the universe. Expert in esoteric knowledge, the Kabbalah, alchemy, metaphysics, etc., a truly wise person, an elevated soul. Look at you. Look at that level up that ℓιဋe is going to bring in for you after this release, my love. This is what this whole pivot is doing for you. And I cannot wait for the transformation and the transformed, version of you that emerges. I'm very proud and very humbled by your strength. So please keep fighting for what you know you can achieve and what Spirit is really pushing you to do and supporting you along the way. I am sending you so much love. Please keep wadding your life. Stay safe. Stay free. Ciao.